Well, this kind of came out of nowhere. It seems that Final Fantasy IX will be getting an animated series. So Cyber Group lines up Final Fantasy IX series. So the Paris-based Cyber Group Studios has inked a co-development and co-production deal with Japanese game studio Square Enix to adapt its fantasy adventure title Final Fantasy IX into an animated series for 8 to 13-year-olds. Right there. I don't think that's a good idea. This series in general, especially Final Fantasy IX, I think is a little bit more mature than 8 to 13-year-olds. Yeah, sure, they could play it, but I don't think they'll quite fully grasp what's going on in the grander scheme of things. Anyway, in addition to producing this show, Cyber Group will also handle worldwide distribution, licensing, and merchandise. The company is putting the finishing touches on a project Bible and plans to begin pitching to its broadcasters in the coming months. While episode count and length has not been finalized at press time, it's said that the goal is to begin production by the end of 2021 and the beginning of 2022. So Final Fantasy IX centers around a thief who kidnaps a princess, then teams up with her to save the kingdom from evil forces. Originally launched back in the year 2000, the game has sold more than 5 million copies worldwide. That's pretty impressive. The 30-year-old Final Fantasy franchise has been adapted to TV before, but this is the first time it takes the game's 9th iteration specifically and will be adapted as an animated kids series. Yeah, there we go. Final Fantasy IX getting an animated show for children. I'm sure children will be able to enjoy it, but I do think the story and tone of the game is probably a little bit more mature for an 8 to a 13-year-old. Like I said, I'm sure they could sit through and enjoy it. But it's just a grander picture going on that I think is just a little bit too mature for children, specifically 8-year-olds. I'm not saying it has to be a full-on show made for adults or anything like that, but I think there's a happy middle ground, but it seems to be they're appeasing to a child market. This is probably in an attempt to sell a lot more merchandise. But I'm very curious to see how this is all going to play out. I'll probably check it out when it comes out. But what do you guys make of all this? Drop your thoughts in the comment section down below. Be sure to subscribe to Gaming with Geeks and check out geeksandgamers.com. And I'll see you all in the next video.